back with another video, and in this one, I felt inspired to come with a little bit different message. A lot of times, I've kind of shied away from things that are religious and spiritual as an adult, just because I feel like I it sometimes it's more trouble than it's worth to get into like spiritual stuff. But I did have a spiritual inspiration that came on me today, which is I really want to talk about the value of faith. I had a conversation with a beautiful woman that I met at work about a month ago, and I was talking about something about how sometimes it feels like when you have when you're trying to develop something from the ground up, it kind of feels like being a farmer. Like I can imagine being a farmer where you are. I've had uh, uh, ancestors that were farmers, and I've heard stories about like life on the farm. And if you can imagine like doing like back-breaking work, tilling the field and sowing a crop, and then there's really no guarantee of getting anything back in return. You can imagine that if conditions are favorable, you'll receive something in return. But in essence, you're putting forward your blood, sweat, and tears, and you don't have any guarantee of return. And this woman that I was speaking to pointed out that that's true faith right there. That's the essence of true faith, is that dynamic of giving your all to something and not having a guarantee of receiving something, but having faith of receiving something. And so I was thinking, like I had mentioned in another video, how sometimes we can land on a higher plane or rank of thought by exercising our imperative of free will, or of reasoning as human beings. And so, whatever your religious faith and background is, I stand down and I respect that, and I as a rule of thumb, I stay away from dogma in my regular life. But I recognize the beauty and the value of different faith systems and the different devotees of those systems. Equally, the value of the faith system, but also the believers are like very valuable. But what I wanted to say is, like, we can all, I think, maybe agree that the we have some kind of impetus or creator in this life, something that has the different mercies and inspiration that gave rise to the conditions of our own existence, but that also maintain our existence, in referring to a higher power as like a father or a mother of that greater life that we're all part of. Whether that be male or female or both, it kind of resonates as being like a parent of some kind. And you can imagine, like, if you have I've heard it said before that this was a mature person that said this, but they were saying that, I can't quote the source, but like when a man has the world, like, like maybe you imagine a man in like his like 40s, or like an accomplished landed person of success and reputation and whatnot. At a certain point, all that they really want is the approval or the affection of their children. So maybe a better way of saying that would be like a relationship with their children. I think that one of the highest the highest levels of mature. I can't speak as a parent, but I've worked with a lot of children, and I've aspired to have children of my own. But I can appreciate that. At a certain point in life, there's really not a lot of things more valuable than those relationships with the younger generation that are coming behind us, because a lot of what we've done and what we have it kind of becomes vanity at a certain point. But the ones that are going to go forward and come after us, that's what has real substance. So what I meant to say is that you can imagine, like, if we have a father or a mother in this life that is responsible for our existence, what would they really want from us? And I think that all they would want in return is a relationship with us. And the foundation of any relationship is trust. And then probably the deepest aspect of trust is faith. So I was just going to say that, whatever you're into, I recommend that all people have faith in themselves and what they're doing, and that if you can, if you're doing something that is equitable and is calculated to benefit other people, then you being faithful and diligent to that is a form of being faithful and diligent to the higher aspect of this reality that has facilitated our existence. And so, just I'm just pointing out the value of that. I think if there was such a thing as a great father, mother, or great spirit, what they would want from us would be a relationship with us, and that's founded in trust and faith. So I'm just admonishing faith for all people. Just have faith in yourself and in what you're doing, and have faith that life is really beautiful and things will work out. Peace.